Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ian from DevSprout, and in this quick video, I just wanted to address a question of should you learn web development in 2024? So, whether you're already learning web development or you're just considering whether or not to do that, you may be aware that the job market right now and for the last year or so has been pretty difficult in the tech sector. And there's a number of different reasons for that. Some speculation would say that it's because of the rise of AI. Personally, I think that's just a coincidence. I don't think that any of the AI tools that are out there that are available for use publicly or on a commercial basis are really quite where they need to be making a significant impact on job numbers. I'm not saying that won't change in the future and potentially the near future, but currently, I don't think that is what's having much of an impact on the job market. So there's kind of a ripple effect that occurs. These larger companies, big tech companies, will do some layoffs for whatever reason. What they have a bad quarter, they have a bad year, and they want to recoup some money. They can let go of a lot of people in various areas of the company and recoup some money that way. And that can have kind of a ripple effect throughout the rest of the industry because a lot of other companies will kind of look up to big tech and see their decisions as driving factors. There's a bunch of other economical things happening with interest rates and stuff that is really out of our control. But again, the as far as like AI is concerned, I think at least from my experience, that is not really having a huge impact. So to zoom in on the question of whether or not you should learn web development, I would say if you're trying to pick up web development because you want to make a career out of it, that's great. And I would highly encourage it, regardless of the current state of the job market. Okay. All markets, job market, housing market, whatever it may be, they all move in cycles. And so currently we are in a bit of a trough, at least with regards to the tech job market in the USA. And so it's going to get better. When that'll happen, I don't know. When budgets turn around, when contracts start happening, for various companies. Also, these giant companies, even though they might take up a large portion of the industry, they are not all there is out there. There's tons of jobs from very small businesses to mid-sized businesses to enterprises that you've never even heard of, even global enterprises that are massive. They're just those companies that operate behind the scenes, and they don't get talked about a whole lot, but there's tons of jobs and lots of money flowing. And so there's plenty of opportunity. The issue now, of course, is that in addition to that opportunity, there's also a lot of talent in the marketplace because of layoffs. Okay, so uh, the supply and demand ratio is not what it was previously in past years. But again, it all happens in cycles and it's going to change. And so you shouldn't let that drive the deciding factor of whether or not you should learn to code in 2024. You definitely shouldn't let the rise of AI and generative pre-trained transformers, generative AI, whatever you want to call it, any of that stuff, you shouldn't let that affect whether or not you learn how to code. Personally, I think it's just going to give you superpowers with learning how to code. It's going to make learning to code so much easier and so much faster if you utilize those tools correctly, and don't use them to shorthand yourself, but use them to increase the velocity of your learning. And so there's ways you can do that. I won't go into that now, but lots of ways to use AI tools to better and quicken your learning process. So again, if you want to learn how to code to get a job, I would say go for it, because in my near 10 years of experience as a software developer, I've seen a lot of people get jobs, many of them students of mine, others friends of mine, coworkers of mine, etc. And it's only ever been the people that gave up that didn't get jobs. If there was ever a person out there that was like, I want to get a job in tech, and then they just saw it through 100%, then they ended up getting the job. And so it's like, okay, that goes without saying. But the point I'm trying to make here is the benefit of having a cycle like the one that we're currently in, where things can seem kind of bleak, is that people who aren't really in it 100%, and this isn't something that they're worth seeing through to fruition, they're going to fall out. They're going to quit. They're going to give up. They're going to pivot. They're going to do something else. And that's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's beneficial for them probably if they explore something more meaningful to them. And it's beneficial for everyone else who wants a job in the industry, because now they have one less person to compete against. So kind of sad in a sense, but it's just the way things work. So if you set the goal of, I want to be a web developer, I want to learn how to code, and I want to make it a career, just stick to it and see it all the way through. Don't let the fear mongering of AI is going to take all of our jobs or anything like that. Don't let those sort of things get in the way of your dream. If you like coding, you've gotten your feet wet, or you think you might like it and you want to get your feet wet, you want to try it out and you want to figure out if it's right for you, do that. And if you decide it's not right for you, there's no shame in that. But if you do discover that, oh my gosh, I enjoy doing this, I like it a lot, and I want to continue exploring this avenue as a career, then do that. Like, yes, you can make a lot of money as a software engineer. There's no secret about that. Even the lowest paid engineers are going to be making probably far more than most other people in other fields, unless you're like a lawyer or a doctor or an astronaut or something like that. But it's no secret, software engineers and adjacent areas of tech make a lot of money. Why that is a whole nother discussion. If it should be that way is a whole nother discussion. But the reality of the matter is that those roles do pay really well. And so that's a nice side effect. That should certainly not be your main goal. You shouldn't think, oh, I'm going to join tech because I want to make a lot of money. Because there's a lot more that goes with it. And when you hit those points of difficulty in your journey to being a software engineer or whatever it may be, then it's going to be really tricky to push through the really hard parts when your only incentive is money. So hopefully there's more powering your decision or driving your decision in making that transition into tech. But to wrap everything up, I would say, if you know in your heart that what you want to do is be a software engineer and in some capacity or some tech adjacent role, DevOps or dev relations or whatever it may be, I say 100% go for it, stick with it, and don't stop doing it until you've done it 100%. That's it. Thanks for tuning into this video. We'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.